Welcome to Healthcare Month. Sorry, everyone, I was muted. We're so excited to have you here, and we have a packed lineup of healthcare professionals joining us today. We're going to be kicking things off in a few minutes with our first session. But before we begin, one item of note is your video and microphones will be turned off for the entirety of the event. So if you wave or say something and you don't get a wave back, it's because we can't see or hear you. We love that you're here and we want to keep you engaged. So please use the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. We will be answering questions live for our presenters throughout the event. Again, welcome to Healthcare Month Kickoff Event. We're so excited to have you all here today. The next hour is going to be filled with incredible healthcare professionals speaking from a broad range of organizations. Please use the Q&A box if you have any questions for our presenters, as your microphones and cameras will be turned off for the whole presentation. And we are going to answer those questions live throughout tonight. Before we kick things off, our first speaker, I wanted to share a little bit more information about what to expect over the next month during Healthcare Month. In partnership with HOSA, Future Healthcare Professionals, we are bringing members a unique month-long initiative to connect you to leading opportunities, colleges, companies, and professional organizations in healthcare. You can find everything on the Tallo community at the link we're dropping in the chat right now. By participating in Healthcare Month in the Tallo community, you'll be able to discover new educational and career pathways, participate in events, workshops, community challenges, as well as networking with colleges, companies, and professional organizations. We're going to have a lot of scholarships, gift cards, prizes available throughout the month, so keep a lookout for those. And stay tuned as we have more information at the end of the hour about how the opportunity to enter the $1,000 Tallo Healthcare Community Leader Competition. And now, without further ado, we are going to take a quick break, and then we are going to kick things off with our first session with Libby Rose, the Senior Director of Student Affairs at the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy. Libby, if you want to jump in a minute early, you can take it away. We're super excited to have you.
Great. Well, thank you. And thanks everyone for joining today. So I'm just going to try to share my screen. And actually, if I'll just ask the Tallo folks, if you could give me permission to share my slides. There we go. So hopefully everyone is seeing the slides okay?
Looks great.
All right. Thank you, Paige, and thanks again, everyone. Perfect. All right, again, my name is Libby Ross, and I'm the Senior Director for Student Affairs at AACP. We're the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy, and we represent all 142 schools of pharmacy in the United States. And so what I want to do today is to show you or talk to you a little bit about how a Doctor of Pharmacy degree or PharmD degree can open really a wide world of pharmacy career options for you. And hopefully, I think, expose you to things you may not have been aware of. Oops, let me see. So a PharmD degree is one of the most versatile health profession degrees you can earn. And for those of you who don't know, I just wanted to briefly go review the pharmacy pathway that you would need to follow. So to begin, all students need anywhere from 2 to 4 years of pre-pharmacy study. That's at the college level. And there's a common misconception that you have to have a bachelor's degree in order to pursue a PharmD degree, and that's simply not the case. Actually, the majority of students come into the program with just 2 to 3 years of college. When you apply, you're probably going to apply through PharmCAS, which is the Pharmacy College Application Service. And this is a centralized application service that allows you to apply or use one application to apply to multiple PharmD degree programs. Once you're enrolled, you're going to spend anywhere from 3 to 4 years in the pharmacy school, earning your PharmD degree. And then upon graduation, you're going to be able to be eligible to take the licensure exam in your state, and then also practice pharmacy. So you don't have to complete a residency before practicing in the profession. And so that literally opens up hundreds of career pathways for you, both in traditional, specialized, and advanced practice settings. Some pharmacists do choose to pursue additional education and training in the form of a residency or a fellowship, other degrees like an MBA, and then also board certification. So I'm sure most of you are familiar with your community pharmacy. That's also known as a retail pharmacy, like your Rite Aid or CVS or Walmart or Walgreens. And community pharmacists play a very important role. They are the most accessible healthcare provider that you can reach. And most people live within just a few miles of a community pharmacy. And we'll talk a little bit more about those expanded roles of community pharmacists. But before I do, I just want to share some of these other common work settings that you can find pharmacists that may not be obvious to you. So for instance, you may know that pharmacists work in hospitals, but you may not realize that they work in different aspects of the hospital, such as the emergency room or the intensive care unit. You can also find pharmacists in other settings that might be unusual to you, like outpatient centers or psychiatric facilities, or even veterinary clinics and working with animals. So these, again, are just a few of the 100 career pathways that you can follow, but just wanted to introduce you to these different settings. So circling back to the community pharmacy, obviously community pharmacists play an important role in dispensing safe medication to patients. But they do so much more, including counseling of patients and other healthcare providers, as well as providing immunizations. So one of the silver linings of the pandemic has been the fact that more people in the public realize that pharmacists do provide immunizations. So not only the COVID vaccine, but also vaccine for the flu and for shingles and other ailments. They can also do point of care testing, again, not only for COVID, but also for things like strep throat. And they can also assist with chronic conditions such as HIV, which requires long-term medication use. They can also help with lifestyle issues such as smoking cessation, learning how to stop smoking if you're addicted. So that expansion is expected to continue. And it's just one of the many key roles for pharmacists, including these 5 different broad areas. So we have pharmacy practice and specialties, the industry, government and regulatory roles, technology, data, and even non-traditional settings, as well as academic pharmacy or teaching and research. So this, again, is not an exhaustive list, and I know it's probably too much for you to read in this short amount of time, but wanted to just highlight a few of some of these practice areas. Again, recognizing that pharmacists, just like in medicine, can specialize or do specialized practice. So for instance, you might be interested to know that there are home care pharmacists. There are also infectious disease pharmacists who stop the spread of infection within a patient population or an individual, as well as with appropriate antibiotic usage. You can find natural supplement pharmacists who can assist and ensure that your non-FDA approved supplements are not going to interact with any prescribed medications you may be taking, as well as travel medicine pharmacists, those who visit different regions to provide pharmaceutical care. So again, just recognizing that there's so many different roles. You can also specialize in one of these particular areas. This is board certification. So if you really have a passion for working with cardiac patients, you can pursue a career in cardiology pharmacy. If you want to work with the particular population group, such as you can work in geriatric pharmacy, or you can work in pediatric pharmacy. If you want to work with individuals with mental or brain issues, they can work in psychiatric pharmacy. There even is pharmacists who specialize in solid organ transplantation pharmacy, So these are just some, and I obviously can dive a little bit deeper into each of these different specialty areas, but then you can find what passion you have and pursue it that way. So in addition to practice roles, a growing number of pharmacists are also pursuing careers in industry. And I'm sure you're aware that the pharmaceutical industry is in the business of developing medications and vaccinations and things of that nature. But there is a whole continuum of work that is done within the pharmaceutical industry. So you have pharmacists who play a role in developing drug information for the users of that medication. There's drug safety experts. There are those who help with clinical trials, with quality control and with regulatory affairs requirements, as well as things like marketing and information sharing. So these are just some of the roles that are available to pharmacists. They're not only pharmacists, there are also individuals who pursue masters or PhDs in the pharmaceutical sciences who work in these roles as well. And just to share that the industry is not uniform, just like practice settings are not uniform. I'm sure you're familiar with large biopharmaceutical companies like Pfizer or Moderna, but there are many other smaller biotechnology companies around the country, as well as groups called CROs or contract research organizations that focus on the research aspect of drug development. There's the medical device industry that looks at things like diabetes, monitoring devices for people with diabetes, healthcare communication, publishers who deal with that aspect of communication, law and managed care, and consulting as well. You can also find pharmacists in many different government settings, and these are just to name a few. So for instance, in the Food and Drug Administration, you would expect that pharmacists would be involved in drug safety and regulatory affairs. You also can find them doing research, not only in the Centers for Disease Control, but also if you look down a little bit, we have the National Institutes of Health as an example. The Federal Bureau of Prisons also employs pharmacists who play an important role in the health and safety of inmates. We have HOSA, who does public health work for the US government, the Indian Health Service, which serves that community, as well as state boards of pharmacy that works with regulatory issues as well in licensure. You can also find pharmacists in information technology and non-traditional pharmacy settings. Pharmacists are able to use not only their knowledge of practice and healthcare, but also of data and information to be able to serve as expert consultants in these different roles, including electronic health records companies, health informatic companies. They also can work on the area of medical genetic testing, which plays an important part in precision medicine. There are even pharmacists who work at NASA and how medication, I presume, works in space. Medical publishers again, and even entrepreneurs who use, again, their medication expertise to develop systems and services to help not only pharmacists, but other healthcare providers and patients. So one thing I want you to leave, the growing demand for pharmacists that we believe will persist. Part of that is because pharmacies themselves have become healthcare destinations for the public, not only just picking up your medication, but again, getting your immunizations, consulting with pharmacists about more complex drug regimens and so on. And as the population ages, they're more likely to be on multiple medications and perhaps have chronic conditions, which requires more patient monitoring and potential changes to medication regimes. And then more complex medications and more numerous medications for people to navigate, making sure that the patient is getting the right medicine for their needs, their particular health needs, and for their health care goals, which may be different by patient. And so as pharmacists improve those patient care outcomes, we also think that demand will increase in the future. And you can see here on the right that the demand for pharmacists just this past year has increased by double digits across each geographic region. So I know I've gone very quickly here, but I wanted to leave time for questions. I hope that I've inspired you to want to learn more about the world of pharmacy and what you might be able to do and how you might be able to share your passion within the pharmacy career. If you want to learn more, I hope you'll visit us at www.pharmacyforme.org. You can also follow us on social media at Pharm4Me, or even email your questions to us at pharm4me@aacp.org. The website here is just thinking about ways you can navigate the different traditional and non-traditional career opportunities for you. I hope you'll go visit that website and learn a little bit more than I have time to share today. But thank you so much, Paige.
Thank you so much. That was such a great presentation. We learned so much about different pharmacy specialties, which I had no idea about. We have to jump right into our next session. So I wanted to go ahead and introduce our next session, which is Sanford Health. And we have Michael Wall joining us today, who is a respiratory therapy supervisor. Thanks so much for joining today, Michael.
Hi, thank you. Nice to be here. So yes, my name is Michael Wall. I'm a respiratory therapy supervisor at Sanford Health in Bismarck. I'm just going to talk a little bit today about some different areas of respiratory therapy and kind of what respiratory therapy does and how I got involved in this field. And then Lene is with me also, and she has some information that she would like to share along with me. So Lene, are you ready to share, or would you like me to go?
If you're ready to go, otherwise I can do that.
Okay. I'll jump right in here. So let's see, I'm going to try to share. And can you guys see my screen okay?
Yep, that looks great.
Okay. So a respiratory therapist, that's kind of one of the lesser known roles within the hospital care system. Large part of that is there's not very many of us, and we're spread out all over. So depending on the size of the facility, there might be one respiratory therapist on any given unit, maybe one for the entire hospital. It just kind of depends on what size facility it is. So respiratory therapists are really experts of the cardiopulmonary heart and lung system and how those two systems interact with the rest of the body. So something that respiratory therapists spend their day doing is caring for patients that have difficulty either breathing, whether that's because of their lungs, something that's hereditary they grew up with, something that disease they've developed, issues with their heart as well. So a day for respiratory therapists largely revolves around providing therapy with patients. So these are a couple of different things that we might find ourselves doing on any given day: giving inhaled medications to all ages, might be caring for an artificial airway that patients need to breathe. And then there's a little device down here. Maybe they have a lot of phlegm and mucus that they have in their lungs. That's going to make their breathing difficult, and we really assist them with techniques and therapies that are going to clear those out so that they can improve the quality of the life that they have, and they can do the things that they want to do. So part of that involves when patients are really struggling, we manage the equipment that they need to breathe. So there's a couple different ways we do that as we escalate from kind of more routine care to more critical care. This would be a breathing machine that we would manage for a patient that cannot breathe effectively on their own. We can attach a mask and then kind of deliver breaths to them and help them take bigger breaths. A large part of our focus is within the intensive care unit, and we manage all the ventilators that help patients breathe while they're healing from a variety of processes. So that's where we've gained a little bit of attention that we're not quite used to in the past couple of years with the COVID pandemic being largely a disease that affects the respiratory system. We played a big role in caring for a lot of these patients that could not breathe effectively on their own. So we become the experts at managing and troubleshooting this equipment. We're the ones that have to know it inside and out and be able to troubleshoot and think on our feet very quickly. Not just inside the hospital, RTs are also utilized outside the hospital. So this is our air medical transport helicopter that we have. RTs for Sanford work on the peds and neonate transport team. So anytime there's a child or baby that is having breathing problems, needs to be flown somewhere, there's always a respiratory therapist along with those. Some patient transports, they won't complete them if there isn't a respiratory therapist available to go, and they'll actually cancel and arrange for a different flight if they're not available. So with transporting babies, we can transport, any size baby from very, very small that can fit in the palm of your hand, and we can care for that breathing machine to make sure they are breathing effectively and getting the oxygen that they need. Anywhere up to pediatric patients that we'll take. Along with that, we also work in the neonatal intensive care unit with the small babies again. This would be inside the hospital, and whenever those babies are struggling, it's usually a respiratory component that's involved. It's one of the last things to kind of develop and fully mature when babies are born weeks early, maybe months early. So these are a couple other areas that respiratory therapists work in. Anywhere from critical care, we do a lot of education with patients on their disease process and how they can function better in their daily lives. We work in doing diagnostic testing, maybe in a pulmonary function clinic, where we do tests and track the progression of lung disease to see if we need to titrate medications. Doing education with tobacco cessation to try to get them to maybe stop smoking and do some of the things that are going to further progress their lung disease. Outside of that, so I didn't really know anything about respiratory therapy when I was kind of exploring what I was going to do with my career. I thought, I was going to go into kind of an exercise science, get some physiology background, and go into physical therapy. And I kind of stumbled along respiratory therapy kind of by accident with some connections I had made throughout my early years of college. And it's been awesome for me because RTs get to go everywhere in the hospital. It's great for those people that, really want to be kind of in the know, and adrenaline junkies that are, in where the action is. Anytime there's a cardiac arrest or a code blue in a hospital, respiratory therapy is one of the first ones there. We're at the head of the bed, and we're kind of in the thick of it with everybody else. So it's a very exciting kind of place to be. And yeah, I guess it's something that I've really enjoyed. So Lene, do you have anything you want to jump in and add?
Actually, I want to ask you a question, Mike.
Okay.
So do you just work in one area of the hospital? What does a typical day look like for you?
Some RTs kind of stick to one unit, but for myself, I work in all the areas, mostly, more specifically, the critical care areas. So I might work in the neonatal intensive care unit with the babies one day, go into all the C-sections, deliveries, anything that's high risk, a respiratory therapist would attend that, so that if that baby has trouble, we're there to jump in and help right away. I also work in the adult intensive care unit, where we're caring from anything from traumas to routine surgical patients that are recovering, and everything in between. So everything from beginning of life to end of life. It's kind of covers the whole spectrum, and that's what I really enjoy is the kind of the critical care aspect of it, where you use your critical thinking skills. So respiratory therapists are staffed 24 hours a day in the hospital. And we're always there. So, we work a lot of the same shifts as like nursing does. Come in at, early in the morning, leave late at night, and then come in maybe in the evening and work all night through the morning. So we're always there helping care for these patients.
I've got some questions about education coming forward. So first of all, is it really difficult to get into RT?
Well, there's a lot of different options. So there's kind of something for everybody, depending on what you're looking for. So it's a minimum of an associate's program to get credentialed. So there's a lot of 2-year programs, some as quick as 18 months, where you can really get in and get going. There's also more common now is bachelor prepared respiratory therapy programs. So those would both end up with the same credential, but you'd be more geared towards maybe education roles, management roles, kind of fast track into those situations. And then there's also a few programs in the nation that are offering a master's degree in respiratory therapy, where again, it just offers up more opportunities for management level positions and education positions. And then a lot of people will use RT in their training to maybe go into a physician assistant program, go into medical school, a perfusionist program where they specialize again in the heart and lungs and managing life-sustaining equipment. So there's a lot of different avenues. There's kind of something for everybody, I'd say.
So we're out of time, and Paige is ready to tell us Mike, would you choose to do it again?
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, thank you both so much. And thank you, Michael, for joining us today. And you obviously have a very important job and we learned a lot. We are going to go ahead and jump into our next session. We have Idaho State University. And today we have Shannon Oler joining us, who is pre-health advising and recruitment coordinator. Shannon, thanks so much for joining us today.
Fantastic. Thank you, Paige. All right. Well, I am really happy to be here with everyone. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Oh, said I couldn't do it. Let me try again. Here we go. Okay, fantastic. So I want to start off. Oh, looks like it started from the end for some reason. Let me back up here. So I just want to start off with a short, brief video. This just gives you an overview of what I'll be talking about today within ISU and the health profession programs that we offer. So I'll go ahead and start that.
Shannon, it doesn't look like we have audio, just so you know.
Sorry, Paige, what?
There was no sound for the video.
Oh, weird.
So
Okay.
turn it up.
Yeah, I have it all the way up on my computer. Well, I'll just start with the rest of the presentation. It's just going more in depth, and if I have time, I'll pull that video up as well. But it's really just a brief overview of what I'm going to go into anyways, but I'll just go a little bit more in depth. So I'm just going to talk to you about our Kasiska Division of Health Sciences today, the health programs we offer at Idaho State University. So I'm just going to start off with a few pictures just because I think it's fun to show some snapshots into what our students are doing at ISU in our health profession programs. So there's a lot of hands-on learning for students within our programs, and you get to see that in these pictures. We've got students from our dietetics program, our physical therapy programs, our PA, and our pharmacy programs all in these pictures. So let's start with an overview. So in the Kasiska Division of Health Sciences at Idaho State University, we have two colleges, the College of Pharmacy and the College of Health. So within these two colleges, we have over 30 different programs and over 50 different degree options. So a wide variety of options within the health professions that you get to choose from. We also have 20 campus clinics between our campus locations for students, again, to get that hands-on experience. And then we, of course, partner with countless outside organizations for students to get clinicals and internship experience and that hands-on as well. So I'll go a little bit more into locations. We do have our main campus location in Pocatello, Idaho, but we do have other locations as well. We have a small health sciences center in Meridian, Idaho. We also have campus locations in Idaho Falls and Twin Falls, Idaho. And then our PA program also functions out of our Caldwell area in Idaho, as well as our Pocatello campus. And then our pharmacy program has students on our Pocatello campus, our Meridian campus, as well as in Anchorage, Alaska. We have a small pharmacy program there too. Okay, so let's jump into the pharmacy college. So the College of Pharmacy is our longest standing college at the university. They just recently, a couple years ago, celebrated 100 years at Idaho State University. So they are a very well-established college and a great opportunity for you to be able to become a therapist or a pharmacist. So I'm just giving you a brief overview now, but please, as you have additional questions, I'll try and leave time, but I'll give you contact information if you want more in-depth info. So then in our College of Health, all of our programs are nationally accredited. We have graduates across all of our programs who have very high employment and placement rates. We have fantastic faculty who are often very highly skilled, nationally recognized from different organizations as well. So a lot of very fantastic people to learn from. I want to show you the departments within our College of Health. So we have degree options ranging from certificates up to doctorate degrees within these different departments. We have our nursing programs, our communication sciences and disorders, which are things like speech language pathology, audiology, sign language interpreting. We have our community and public health programs with both undergraduate and graduate options, as well as our counseling. That's a master's degree at the university. Then we have both undergraduate and graduate options in dental hygiene. We also have a dental sciences where dental students can finish their residency. We have emergency services programs and a family medicine residency program as well. We also have health science programs if you're looking for a more general health science route. Then we have undergraduate and graduate options in medical laboratory sciences, as well as both in nutrition and dietetics. We also have graduate options in occupational therapy and physical therapy, as well as physician assistant studies, and then some great undergraduate options in radiographic science, as well as a master's degree in athletic training as well. So a lot of different options here within the College of Pharmacy and College of Health. We do also have some other health programs at ISU. We're in a unique situation that we actually have a College of Technology on our campus. So we have students who often are pursuing that technical schooling who will also come to ISU. And so we have a lot of opportunities through them and as well as some of our other colleges. So we've got healthcare administration, clinical psychology, social work, and a whole slew of opportunities in our College of Technology as well. Things ranging from medical assisting to your PT, OT assistant, or farm tech, medical coding, respiratory therapy as well. So a lot of opportunities through them. And you can start in the College of Technology, sometimes with a certificate, build that into an associate's all the way up to a bachelor's, and then continue on to a graduate degree if you wanted, all at the university. I do want to show you a few cool opportunities for you to be able to become a more competitive applicant for programs, whether those are graduate programs or for jobs once you graduate as well. We have a number of certificate and minor options at the university. I'm just going to show you a few that really pair well with any of our health profession programs at the institution. We do have certificates in addiction studies, as well as biomedical ethics, a community health worker certificate, our interprofessional geriatric certificate, medical anthropology, and a mindfulness certificate as well. These certificates usually are anywhere from about 9 to 12 credits, sometimes more, but not too difficult to go ahead and add on to the program of study as well, just to make you more competitive. And then some minors we also have within our Division of Health Sciences. We've got some community and public health minors, as well as a healthy aging minor, pre-PA minor, and quite a few different foreign language minors that of course can also make you much more competitive going into the workforce or different graduate health profession programs. So just a few more pictures that you can see of our students again in their programs. And then I'm going to mention our pre-health advising. So though we may not have graduate health profession programs in everything, such as maybe medical school or dental school or chiropractic, those type of programs, we do assist students in preparing for and applying to those graduate health profession programs. So don't hesitate to come here to go ahead and get your bachelor's degree done and then prepare to apply to those other graduate programs as well. So our office is dedicated to that. And then I'm gonna end with our contact information here just so you can contact us for any other in-depth information that you'd like.
Thank you so much, Shannon. It seems like ISU has a ton of great programs, 2- and 4-year and different certifications as well. So lots out there for students to participate in. So thank you so much for sharing that with us today. We are going to go ahead and jump right into our next session. We have the University of Louisville School of Public Health and Information Sciences. And today joining us, we have Dr. Thomas, who is the Associate Dean for Student Affairs in Public Health Practice and Undergraduate Education. Thanks for joining us today, Dr. Thomas.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to allow you all to take over the video or the presentation. Okay, my name is Tammy Thomas. I am the Associate Dean, as Paige mentioned, and I'm with the University of Louisville School of Public Health and Information Sciences. And we are located in Louisville, Kentucky. Our school has undergraduate degrees, which I'm going to focus on today, as well as graduate degrees and certificates, which include master's and doctoral programs. We're also CEF accredited by the Council of Education and Public Health. Next slide. A little bit of information about the University of Louisville. We were established in 1798. We are one of the top 4% of institutions across the country that are Carnegie I classified. And what that means is we are a top tier institution for research. So if you have an interest in research, whether it's public health research, biology, chemistry, physics, any type of research you can imagine, we have top scholars and research funding, and you may want to consider the university as a research option. We're also accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. We have nearly 16,000 undergraduates. 25% are underrepresented minority students. We have students from every state in the United States, as well as 89 different countries. Next slide. We are an ACC school. If you could go back one slide, that would be great. We have over 400 recognized student organizations. So not only can you go to class, but you can fill your time with practically anything you can imagine there is an organization for. We have over 30 fraternities and sororities, and many of you all know we have nationally ranked basketball and football teams. As far as academics go, we have over 120 majors, 80 minors, undergraduate certificates, and accelerated program options. Next slide. And I don't know if the video will play, Paige, but we can definitely try it.
The University of Louisville School of Public Health and Information Sciences offers a variety of programs.
And Paige, if it's too much of a problem, we can go on without it.
The University of Louisville School of Public Health and Information Sciences offers a variety of programs to launch your journey in the dynamic field of public health.
At the U of L School of Public Health and Information Sciences, you can choose the path for your unique journey.
Research, advocacy, healthcare administration, disease control, and education are just a few examples of the impact U of L public health alumni have on our daily lives.
Learn more at louisville.edu/SPHIS.
Thanks, Paige. So let's talk a little bit about our undergraduate programs. We have a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Arts in Public Health. One of the great things about our degrees are all the programs that you just saw in pharmacy and respiratory therapy. We offer a track in professional health studies. That track in particular allows students to meet their prerequisites for pharmacy, physical therapy, respiratory therapy, ophthalmology, whatever you may be interested in. you can work your prereqs into the professional health studies degree in public health. We also have a track in social justice and health equity. We have accelerated programs that include our bachelor's and master of public health program. And what that means is your senior year, when you're an undergraduate student, you will actually take master of public health classes during your senior year. You will graduate with your bachelor's on time, and you will have a master's degree a year after your bachelor's graduation. So typically both degrees in 5 years. We have minors in public health, applied data and statistics, public health nutrition, epidemiology, healthcare management, and social justice and health equity. Next slide. So many of you all learned about public health, unfortunately, during COVID. And public health promotes and protects the health of people and the communities where we live, learn, work, and play. And as you saw from COVID, the importance of public health. So public health is looking at the health of a population. Next slide. So, quiz. Since 1900, we've experienced nearly a 40-year life expectancy increase. How much of this is due to public health as compared with medical care? 10%, 25%, 40%, 55%, or 85%? Close. The answer is 85%. So public health contributes to our life expectancy. For instance, you saw during COVID that we are in the business of prevention. So from the time you get up in the morning till the time you go to bed at night, prevention starts with brushing your teeth, eating something healthy for breakfast, putting on your seatbelt, washing your hands after you use the restroom, putting on your seatbelt on your drive home. All of that is public health. Next slide. So public health versus medicine. Both are important. Public health looks at the entire population. Medicine generally looks at the individual. Public health is more prevention focused on disease. Medicine is looking at the diagnosis and treatment. Public health is in the business of promoting health with positive outcomes. Public health relies on a system management perspective, and medicine relies on a patient management perspective. So we have many differences, but they're all very important. So your role in public health is really looking at the health of the population. And again, going back to COVID, which none of us, wanted to happen, but that was the prime example of public health in action, looking at the true health of a population during a pandemic. Next slide. So these are some of the top 10 achievements in the 20th century in public health. You've got fluoridated water, reduction in tobacco use, vaccinations, motor vehicle safety. When I was a kid, you didn't wear a seatbelt. Now you wear a seatbelt. Safer workplaces, healthier foods, infectious disease control, healthier mothers and babies. We still have a long way to go in that area. Family planning options, decrease in death and heart disease and stroke. Next slide. And of course, the Flint water crisis is another example of public health. Next slide. Public health is divided into 5 core disciplines. You've got health promotion and behavior, epidemiology, biostatistics, environmental health, health policy and management, and then you've got the cross-cutting competencies. And I see Paige, so I'm going to end here. If you want to go to the last slide. If you all have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to me via email. I will be happy to get back to you right away and provide any information about our school or any other schools that I could possibly assist you with. I'm happy to do so.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thomas. A great presentation, learned so much about the two differences between the different healthcare organizations. So next we are going to go.
While we get that up, we really just want to start by thanking our close partner, Tallo, for their support of HOSA Future Health Professionals, as well as their support in organizing this wonderful event. Tallo has been a close partner of ours for many years, helping us support the leadership and professional development of our 250,000 members across the globe. They've supported our scholarship program, leadership opportunities, as well as robust international competitive events program. Just to start off, if you would, type in the chat if you've heard of us, HOSA Future Health Professionals, or if you're a member. We'd love to see if any of you are involved already or have heard of us, or maybe you haven't. Look at that. It's great to see that we have some members online today. We're really grateful to Tallo for providing all of you, our membership, with so many opportunities to showcase your talent, who you are, and honestly, who you aspire to be. And so the talent of HOSA members worldwide really is a testament not only to the future of health in our country and in the world, but also to the opportunities that our organization presents our members. Next slide. For me, as a current senior at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, passionate about pursuing a career at the intersection of public health policy and public service and government, I'd say that one of the most universal things in our world is health. It's healthcare, because it's about way more than what happens at hospitals and in doctors' offices. It's about keeping our communities safe. It's about securing the wellness of our families, of our friends, and our loved ones. It's about mental health. It's about affordable housing, food, clothing. It's about caring. That's what health's about. And that's where each of you come in, because health affects everybody. There's nothing, let me tell you, I think we were just talking about it at the last presentation. There's nothing more personal to you than health and then public health. And here at HOSA Future Health Professionals, we understand that. We recognize that. We acknowledge it. And that's why it's a privilege for me to turn it over to Anna Fang, HOSA's International President-elect, as well as Rachel Thuma, HOSA's Central Region Vice President, to chat through a little bit about how HOSA can be beneficial to you along your journey, regardless of if you're a current member or if you aren't one. Next slide.
So one thing that really excites me about HOSA is the magnitude of what it really means to be a HOSA member, to be part of such a large, expensive international organization with, as you can see on the slide, over 250,000 members and 2.7 million alumni through over 54 chartered HOSA associations, including American Samoa, Canada, China, Korea, and Puerto Rico. That still feels like a community and a family, because HOSA members are dedicated to supporting the future of healthcare. Our members exemplify what it truly means to care for others, not only with their drive and their resilience, but also with their empathy and compassion. And with some of the most kind, genuine people I've ever met, each HOSA member really does strive to uplift one another, cheering each other on from across the world. So whether it's through a competitive event, conferences, or just at school in your chapters, there's so many amazing ways for you to find true, meaningful relationships here as a community.
Yeah, I completely agree, Anna. And as an organization, HOSA brings together middle school, secondary, and post-secondary members working towards the common goal of becoming better leaders, health professionals, and compassionate global citizens. We aim to fill workforce shortages in the healthcare industry, as well as ignite its advancement by supporting the need of future physicians, nurses, dentists, technicians, and so many other professionals that contribute to the bettering of health for us all. And HOSA accomplishes this mission through 4 key pillars.
And one of those key pillars is service. Service involvement in HOSA can range from impactful community blood drives, canned food drives, and other activities working towards achieving our Barbara James Service Award. Additionally, members can be involved in the service project that HOSA delegates choose for our organization to support and be a part of. This year, our service project is Be the Match, an especially meaningful organization that can completely change the lives of both bone marrow donors and recipients. The beauty of Be the Match is found in the direct impact a donor, or one of you, can have on a patient's life. Because beyond fundraising and advocacy, which are just as important, it gives you, students, the chance to join the bone marrow registry and save a life before you fully even step into your healthcare careers. And this level of intimacy and impact through service here at HOSA Future Professionals is truly second to none, in my opinion.
Yeah, and service ties hand in hand with our next pillar, leadership. Good leadership is a key to a better future. It is a highly coveted trait that organizations of all disciplines desperately need. And HOSA offers opportunities to fulfill this need through biannual leadership development conferences at the state and international level. The workshops, networking opportunities, and learning activities that come together to help members connect with people around their state and strengthen their abilities. And besides our conferences, HOSA also connects members with various experiential and service opportunities globally, as well as connects them to the wisdom of global health leaders through hosting panels, video podcasts, and even authoring e-magazine articles.
And the next pillar of HOSA is learning, refining technical skills through competitive events, as well as introducing the next generation of healthcare, you guys, to non-traditional pathways in the fields. Because health, what it means to be healthy, what it means to be well, is changing, as we've heard in the last presentation, broadening the scope of healthcare and what it means to care for others. Ensuring the well-being of our communities requires looking within clinical spaces and beyond, into spaces like technological innovation, public health, and health information. And HOSA hopes to integrate this ideal in structuring our competitive events to introduce members at the middle school, high school, and post-secondary levels to a holistic view of the healthcare field. So whether it's public health, health informatics, emotional well-being, biotechnology, or clinical laboratory science, to name a few of our new competitive events this year, these competitive events become an amazing way to find and explore new avenues in healthcare, or even spark an interest that paves the way for a future career. And through these opportunities to learn, apply, and achieve, HOSA gives members the space to build a foundation of knowledge and technical skill sets to potentially one day make the change that you'd like to see in healthcare.
Yeah, and that brings us to the last pillar of HOSA, innovation. An opportunity to be recognized for your innovative commitment and resilience at an international level. The sheer size and reach of HOSA carries prestige among universities, employers, and professional schools. They highly value candidates that can compete, present, and win at such a level. And this is a stage that's shared by scholarship recipients that tap into a $6.2 million scholarship funding extended to HOSA members. It's a stage that recognizes top-tier students worldwide for their successes in service and competition. Many of the competitive events, like the National Geographic ATC exams, are also aligned to match subjects that appear on professional exams. Gaining recognition at the international level and technical knowledge is a great way to apply your knowledge outside of the classroom and receive recognition for your specific subject competencies. HOSA provides the perfect way for you to be recognized for the talent and drive that you already hold.
So Rachel, you brought up a lot of great points, and I think we can definitely both agree HOSA has a lot to offer you all. And it really comes down to how well and how much of it you decide to take advantage of. For me, that meant my sophomore year of high school, getting involved in an interesting competitive event, which was behavioral health for me, which grew into a passion for destigmatizing mental health and supporting mental well-being today in college. And as someone who is pretty shy and soft-spoken, it meant finding my voice and learning how to comfortably stand within myself and accept myself, stepping out of my comfort zone and serving at the local, regional, state, and now international levels, which I still think is crazy. Lastly, it meant meeting some of my biggest supporters, role models, and best friends. Joining HOSA 6 years ago, I can say without a doubt that this organization made me who I am today. And this organization has something for each and every one of you here.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Everything that you said matches exactly with my experience. And I think it's a big part that plays a role in every single one of HOSA's members, or at least that's our goal. So, if our pillars match up with yours, we invite you and look forward to seeing you join our HOSA family to have similar experiences.
Yeah, this organization is really all about giving back and paying opportunities forward to the future of healthcare, which is you. Impactful service events, competitive events, and personal growth is at the core of who we are as an organization. These opportunities and these experiences are at the root of each HOSA member's personal story. But what we really would love to hear is your unique HOSA story. So we hope that you will share it with us.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I know that was a lot of information in a short amount of time. So for those of you who have questions, stick around after the panel. We'll stay on to answer all of your questions about HOSA, careers in health, college, and anything else. And if you can't stick around or you have more questions that come up later, please visit us at www.hosa.org or reach out at hosa@hosa.org.
Thanks, Anna and Rachel. It becomes clear that we live in a world that looks to health as the solution, and one that has the capacity to change the lives of so many across the globe. The world thinks that we have all the answers, or at least we're searching to find them. Hopefully, that's what drew many of you on the call tonight to the field of health. So it's time to be what you want to be. It's time to be the future of health. And so we thank you for tuning in to learn more.
Great. I'll jump in after you all, but Kartik, Rachel, Anna, you all did a phenomenal job, and definitely a huge plug for HOSA. I've done a lot of work with HOSA through Tallo. By the way, my name is Jason. I'm the director of community here at Tallo, but HOSA is such a phenomenal organization. All the members that I have met have been just top tier, so amazing. Those competitions are fierce and fun and amazing. So I would definitely recommend joining if you're interested in healthcare. And to close out our event, I just wanted to give a quick overview of the Healthcare Community Leader competition that we have going on as part of Healthcare Month. And so I'll show you where you can find that. Are you all seeing the Tallo community? Perfect, thank you. So the Tallo community, if you haven't made your way over to it yet, is the social side of Tallo. So it's a place that we've created where members can connect with one another and with our partners. So companies, colleges, professional organizations, just like HOSA. And so we have some top influencers where you can rank up by posting, commenting, engaging and interacting with each other. We have some featured content from Healthcare Month, from our Boeing mentorship program. Here's the competition that we'll get into in just a second. So I'll open that up. But you can see a lot of different content and posts from students just like you, young professionals, but also our partner companies and colleges. And so as part of Healthcare Month, you can navigate there by this call to action button at the top of the Tallo community. And that'll take you to the Healthcare Month category, where we have an event calendar with all the different ways that you can get involved, from the scholarships to participating in the community challenges and the $1,000 Healthcare Month competition. So the way that you participate in that is creating a post on the community on healthcare and the medical field. It can be literally whatever you want, whatever made you interested in healthcare, a particular career pathway that you really want to pursue in healthcare, maybe your story about how you first got interested or involved in healthcare, a mentor that impacted you. And so Alexa has dropped that link in the chat, but you just clicked create a post, and then just make sure to tag it Healthcare Community Leader to be considered. And then towards the end of the month, we'll be identifying 5 of these posts that we're going to nominate, and then you all get to vote on who is the healthcare community leader. So get your post in today. But we're going to close out today's event with just a huge thank you to all of our partners that participated. Thank you again to HOSA for helping us put on Healthcare Month. Definitely keep an eye out for more posts, more content, more challenges as the month goes on. And I know we're saving some time at the end of this event. So if you're a HOSA member, definitely make sure to stick around. And even if you're not a HOSA member and you want to learn more, this is a good opportunity for you. But thank you to all of our partners. Thank you to all the students and young professionals that attended. And we'll be following up with the gift card for one of the members that attended. So we'll be choosing that from the registration or from the attendee list later. So we'll be following up with the winner. But Kartik, Rachel, Anna, I'll kick it over to you.
Thanks so much, Jason. Appreciate your help. As Jason mentioned, we're really looking forward to Anna, Rachel, and I chatting with, if you're a HOSA member, if you're not a HOSA member, we're really looking forward to answering your questions about all things HOSA, about college, about career planning, about anything that you're curious about learning about. And so I think we had a couple of questions pop in the chat. It's amazing to see how many of you all are HOSA members, have heard of HOSA, are even involved in leadership within your chapter or within your region. Very, very exciting to see. Received a question in the chat. Someone wants to be a veterinarian and thought it would be a good organization. Heard so many people say HOSA is a great, fantastic organization. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we're so proud that we have a veterinary science competitive event. So that might be a great opportunity to check out on hosa.org/guidelines.